مرحبا بك. إذا أعجبك المقطع لا تنسى الاشتراك في القناة وتفعيل الجرس لكي يصلك منا كل جديد.
Family disintegration. What are the consequences of the disintegration of prisoners? The negative consequences for children, and strange events and actions that afflict every member of the family. Family disintegration is a comprehensive injury and hitting the family with all weapons. The destruction of the home, the loss of children and children, their acquisition of confusion and confinement to the harsh conditions in which they fell, and the destruction and loss that befall children and young children before adults, namely the father and the mother. Family disintegration, or the separation of spouses from each other. It has any negative and dire consequences. Destroy all family members. As a result, the family life is not reassuring and unstable, and the separation between husband and wife. It will be the result of the spouses differing in many situations, including the nature and characteristics and the difference in principle for each of them. Each of the husband and wife has their own character, and different from the other. For example, the husband is the man of the house and the head of the house, and by virtue of his capacity, he is responsible for the family's expenses, management and solving the family's problems. And he must provide comfort and reassurance for the home and children. And he works to solve all the family, practical and school problems of the children. If he is disturbed by these qualities and the elements that he is doing, he will make the ship's rudder turn to another path. He must manage things with wisdom, rationality and respect for his wife so that he is always in control of the affairs of the house. The wife must help her husband in managing matters, and help him with that. And the wife, if she sees any problem or something strange to the children or any unnatural act, she should not act on her own and leave her husband as if he did not exist. On the contrary, she must return to the husband to solve this problem so that things will be calm and normal. Because the husband has a strong and effective role in solving such strange things that may occur from children. But if the wife acted as the husband in the house, here is the trouble. Because it broke his thorn in front of children and children. Thus, the husband's affairs are shaken in front of the children and children. The husband's style is not controlling and the children and children have shaken the image of their father in front of them. And if the spouses disagree and separate from each other as a result of differences, of course and principle, in this case, who will pay the price? They are the children and the children. Because the father and the mother had sold the camel with what was carried. And every one of them does not think except in himself. And the husband goes from another lady in order to live his life and enjoy with another wife. And always the husband in such matters is behind his desires and whims. And his wife, of course. Either she saves herself for the children and raises them and devotes herself to them and solving their problems. In this case, she will be a virtuous wife, mother, educator and 6 purebreds. Because it does not leave her children to loss and damage, and protect him from being street children, and such a wife should make a souvenir or statue for her. Because she does not think about her own interests like her husband, but rather thinks about the interests of her children. But if the wife is of the second type, which is to think about herself and her youth and think about her femininity, desires and whims, such a situation would be a mother who does not deserve the title of mother. And she is a selfish wife who does not think about her children and leaves them to be lost and leaves them to the world and its afflictions, and the children are exposed to danger and loss. And the society is itself. And society is full of family problems. Instability and criminals and precedents arise. We ask each husband and wife, if any of the marital problems happened between them, please do not rush to separate, and away from each other and away from the children. And we ask them to wait in thinking and not to forget that there were pleasant and happy days between them and days that should not be forgotten. And that was for the sake of their children and their children, and for the community that shelters them. And if things escalated between them, they must seek the assistance of another party to solve the problems and stay away from some short period of time until things calm down between them. And wait to think before the family separation. Do not forget your children and protect him from homelessness and loss. توتا رافات.
لا تنسى الاشتراك في القناة وتفعيل الجرس لكي يصلك منا كل جديد.